What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to Enkae Prestige Motors, and we've got another vehicle comparison video to bring to you with myself, George, and of course Jamal. Jamal, how are you feeling, mate? You look cold.
Yeah, I'm a little bit nippy out here, but to be out with these two cars, it's pretty exciting.
So the two vehicles that will be going head to head today, and we're going to be testing them to the limits, aren't we, Jamal? We're going to be testing the noise that the engine makes, we're going to be testing the interiors, we're going to be testing the performance factor, and we're also just going to be testing who prefers which car. And without further ado, I'll introduce mine first. 2017 Volkswagen Golf R. And Jamal, what have you brought along?
So I've got a 2018 Bmw M140i.
Do you know what? I think I've already won. If I'm being honest, you know what? There's a lot of BMW fans out there, but if we're gonna strip the cars back, yes, Jamal's has a bit more power, which we'll get onto, but the Volkswagen just looks so nice, and it's just a better car, mate.
Well, I think the V-Dub is the safe choice in this one, and I think a lot of our clients and car fanatics out there really love the more adrenaline-filled option.
It is that. Well, do you know what? It's both of these cars are amazing. To be fair, they're both available on Enkae Prestige Motors, and that's why we're going to put them to the test. And where else to start than raw power? And Jamal, I'll let you go first. What are you packing?
M140i. It has one of the best engines. A straight six from BMW, 3 litre, and it's got the twin scroll turbo, so it's a single large unit and it's got 2 air inlets, so it delivers the power really efficiently, and that's close to 330 brake horsepower, and the torque figure's up to 370, and that's going straight to the rear wheels, so you need to know how to drive a car when you're in the M140.
Which is why we're just watching Jamal
when conditions are
Are you able to perform with rear wheel drive?
Well, I prefer it. I do prefer it, but I can't say I'm the best driver in the world. So, I mean, certainly someone who knows how to drive the car will be astounded by it, and it'll far surpass the Golf, as it's got a lot more horsepower, a lot more power as well. Right,
so your car's got power.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try and deny that. I mean, the Volkswagen's got a 4-cylinder, 4 cylinders. We didn't do another take where I said 6-cylinder. It's got a 4-cylinder, 2-litre engine that conks about 306 brake horsepower. And do you know what? I know that's what I like about BMW, like you've said. It's they've stuck to the roots, 6 cylinders, raw power. Will they continue with that in 2021 when the new M140 comes out?
That's the thing. A lot of BMW fanboys have been disappointed because the M135i, with its normal sort of 4-cylinder engine, has been around for a while now, and no sign of a new BMW M140. So hopefully next year they bring one out and they stick to the straight 6, more like a detuned version of the M3 and the M4 units, which the next generation are taking up to 500 brake horsepower. So it'll be interesting to see where we go. And again, just back on your car, it's a tried and tested unit. Obviously it's using the S3, it's using the Golf Rs for a long time now, so it's quite a reliable engine and people know how to drive them cars.
It is, and it's environmentally friendly as well, which is where we're going towards. That's Jamal's hate word. He hates the fact that engines are getting smaller. But with a turbo output, it produces about 280 pounds of torque, which is a good 90 below you, Jamal. But you know what? It still sounds better than yours. I'm having that. It sounds, which we'll get onto. It sounds better than yours. And I've just got one number followed by a word that trumps this whole argument.
The buzzword.
4Motion. It's got 4Motion. It's got 4-wheel drive. In the winter in Britain, you do not want rear wheel drive.
I have to agree with you on one point. I was disappointed because on the M140s and the 240i's, in the European and American markets, they actually have X-Drive variants. But again, it does add a little bit of weight, and for someone who wants a purer driving experience, especially when you have the right conditions, not a sticky winter day, then I think the M140 then comes out of its shell a little bit more. But
yeah, so for the 2 days a year that we have those conditions in Britain, the M140 comes out of its shell. Whereas if you want power and output all year round, 4Motion, stick it on the ground, and it just eats up.
It is the
eats up
safer
tarmac.
option. The safer option.
No, I think that's a Golf in general. I think the Golf is a safe option. Like you say, I don't want to say safe, but it looks safe as well, doesn't it?
It's
the same Golf design.
It's been the same forever.
And it just is what it is. It's the bloke who's always been there.
Yeah.
And I love it. And we saw Pablo take me to Cornwall. That was a Golf.
That was a Golf.
There's something about a Golf that just screams, "I'll get you there."
Yeah.
Whereas yours screams, "I'll kill you." But you'll have fun doing it.
That's what I love about it.
Right, let's get on to the exteriors then. So, I mean, your front splitter looks amazing, Jamal. They've both gone for the chrome-tipped mirrors on the outside. The blue brake calipers look fantastic as well. And the overall shape of the M140, it doesn't beat a normal hatchback,
Well,
I'm sorry.
I mean, looking at the roof line, looking how low it is, it's a little bit lower and slimmer, more athletic than the Golf, which I
Sounds like you versus me, to me.
I think looks really aggressive. It's got the classic kidney grills, two of them separated out together, and with this front lip, with the sort of ducts where the air intakes are to be, it does make it look very aggressive. And you've got the round circular angel eyes that BMWs have always had. I think that's a fantastic design feature. And again, when we look around the back, I think the rear of the car is really beautiful as well.
I just think, I don't like this. I do like M140s, but the shape of it for me, whereas the classic Golf look, and do you know what? This is my favourite generation of Golf R as well. The new gen with the monobrow at the front.
Monobrow.
I'm not a fan. The new Golf R at the back as well. I'm not a fan of it. Whereas this, it just looks mean. It looks aggressive. The blue really stands out. It's got Pretorias, which are fantastic on any car. I mean, they really stand out on this car.
I mean, that's the one thing I have to say, obviously with the pan roof, that option not really being
got a
available
pan roof,
to the BMWs,
exactly.
I think that's a huge bonus, because you get to hear more of the engine, more of the experience, and these alloys people die for, the Pretorius alloys. I think they're a staple in every town and city where the car petrol heads live, mate. You've got a car with these alloys.
That's it, mate, that's it. So, on appearances, are we going to come to an agreement?
I think it's...
pan roof, come on.
And I think they both have a certain person. Some will like this, some will like that. It will have to be a draw on the appearances,
No
I think.
way! This looks much better than the... Right, the BMW is more iconic. And you know what? That's what the Volkswagen doesn't have, is that wow factor, really, because it doesn't need it. Because it just goes through the roads. You don't even know it's a Golf R,
Let me put it to you this way.
And then as soon as you come to someone, it'll like, bang, it's gone.
Let me put it
Whereas
to you this way.
Whereas the M140, I'm sorry, you're just trying too hard. This is minimalistic.
I agree with what you're saying,
perfect.
but for me, if you were to take the quad pipes off that car and there was no air vents at the front with a badge, you would not even know if it's a Golf R or not. The silhouette,
that's
the
the beauty
of this car gives it that appearance. And if you're paying a lot of money for your car, you want it to look sporty.
Yeah, you do, but then there's a certain level, Jamal. You don't want to scream at people what you're driving.
Well, let's give... All right.
This, minimalistic, perfect. And it wins. I'm sorry, it does.
All right, I'll give you that one just because of the pan roof.
Just because of the pan roof.
So here we are in the interior of the BMW M140i, and it's a really driver-focused interior, this. Again, classic BMW, so you've got all your main switches in the central area with the gear selector, but you can also put it into sport, eco mode, traction control off, and you've also got the paddle shifts on the steering wheel, so you can see these finished in the sort of chrome, give you a nice tactile feeling to them. The full interior is finished in leather as well, to really give it a bit more of a premium appearance. You've got your central display there, and this is the upgraded iDrive system. So in there you've got your maps, you've got your navigation media, and you can also check different functions of the car. Having a little look at the maps, you can see it's a more high definition compared to the old generation, which I think is quite nice. This display as well is actually an upgrade for the M140i, so only the newer cars have these, and it gives it a bit more of a stealthy appearance, being digitised, a lot better than some of the older ones in BMW. They're not renowned for sort of changing their designs much before this generation of car, so I think that's a very, very good side of the BMW.
It's still not a virtual cockpit. But
I mean, it's very driver focused, and that's what BMW fanboys like about their cars. They just want to know how fast they're going, what revs they're on, and nothing else matters. One thing that it does have, which the Golf doesn't, is you've got a little button on the side of the seat which will actually tighten the bolsters around your waist. So when you are going round the corner, and obviously with the 50-50 weight distribution, sliding the car around, that will hold you in your seat.
Yeah, so that's just to strap you in for when the
strap
event.
You in,
yeah,
exactly.
for when. So why can you turn traction control off when you already have rear wheel drive in the winter?
Well, the traction control off is probably only for track, so we wouldn't recommend doing that anywhere else.
So, unlike Jamal's car, alright, the M140i, but I'm not going to try and diss it too much, but, you know, mine does have a virtual cockpit standard with the Golf R range now. It's got a touchscreen centre console, which is fantastic. Do you know what? Aesthetically, this car is so nice on the inside. It's got an electric handbrake, multifunction steering wheel. I'm quite warm right now because it's heated seats, something that Jamal's car, again, doesn't really have. The suede finish on the seats looks fantastic. It has got some ambient LED lighting in here as well, just down the door strips, which again is fantastic. Nice and decluttered centre console, I would say. It's got your drive select here, nice 4Motion sign, just to remind everyone that it has got 4-wheel drive for when you need it. Electric pan roof. You can stick your head out when it is in the summer, but I wish we didn't have to right now because it is freezing. Traction control off, you can turn your traction control off, you can select your driving mode as well, put it in race mode, deliver all that 306 brake horsepower, but it has got economical mode and comfort mode on there as well. All around, such an easy to use car. This is one thing that I don't know if you'd agree with, Jamal. You know, stuff with like the nav and how to use the car. Volkswagen are so simplistic. It's just so easy to use.
I have to agree, the interior on this one is really intuitive and everything's where it needs to be. What about the secondary screen on the left? Is that a bit low? Do you think, would you prefer it above your air vents?
Jamal, I drive a high Hyundai i20, mate, 58 plate, so this is luxury, mate. I'm not going to say it's a bit too low for me. It's absolutely...
We're asking on behalf of the consumer here.
On behalf of the consumer, if you are a taller gentleman, it's still a perfectly comfortable height for you. And the touchscreen's seamless as well. You know, everything works really fast, really well. The DAB radio's perfect. Voice control as well, which I'm not going to try because I tried it with a Mercedes when we did that one and she was stuck on there for ages. But yeah, simplistic is the key. Simplicity is key, and it's fantastic in here, and it really does deliver the Volkswagen trademark in here as well. I just think anyone could drive them if they wanted to. I don't advocate anyone driving without a license, but theoretically they could.
Now it was time for the sound test, and Jamal was in charge of revving the cars. I'll let you decide which car he decided to give a little bit more to.
So at the end of the sound test, Jamal's probably going to give that to himself based on the BMW sound there.
Yeah,
and it does sound
good.
It does sound good. I think the Volkswagen has a few more crackles and pops, but yeah, the six cylinders I think come out on top.
It's all that displacement, and I think your car, yes, it does have the burbles that we're used to with the S3s and the Golfs, but that straight six, especially when you get performance exhaust on it, it's another level.
Anyway, time for the final challenge. We're going to get these cars on the road and see which one performs best. And Jamal will be spun off somewhere because I'm gonna win this. 4Motion all the way.
Leave you in the dust on that one.
This car was built for the road, and I know Jamal's already saying, you know, 4-wheel drive is too easy. There's nothing to it. It's taking the pleasure out of driving. For me, it's actually added to the pleasure of driving. I love the fact that cars are getting more thought, like they have more thought to them, and I love that cars are actually taking the danger and the thinking maybe away from the driver, because as much as I do enjoy driving, and who doesn't, I don't need to know that I'm fighting with a car to keep it on the road. I just want to get to my destination and put your foot down and just listen to that. The annoying part is, and it is upsetting, is that is just fed mechanically through to the inner workings of the car, to the interior. It's not making that sound on the outside, which is what we see a lot from these 2-litre 4-cylinder engines, is that a lot of the noise is fake.
but I'm the one who's paid for it. I'm the one who's driving. As long as I can keep up the illusion that this car is making that noise, I'm fine with that. And it goes as well. Fantastic little car.
See here that the steering balance is quite nice thin steering wheel. Feel the torque through your back seat. What did you think of that little pull? Really gets going, this car. You can just imagine how it will feel also on a track. Very well balanced car. And it takes a certain level of concentration, not like the Golf with the four-wheel drive. You need to be on the ball all the time. You need to be making sure that the car, it's under control, where the back end is going, how much torque's going to those back alloys. You feel there a little bit of a shimmy, the car sort of trying to wiggle its way with all that power. Feel that surge of torque and power. Those small displacement engines really don't give you that same sort of enjoyment out of the vehicle that this M140 does. Really nice car. I might even buy one myself.
On these roads, just eats up cyclists. Bye-bye, Mr. Cyclist. And it's great. And I come back to that notion of ease, which is what a lot of these newer cars are. And I know BMW really brings out the petrol head type people, the people who want to feel every inch of their body involved in the car and connected to the road, and that's fair enough, and that is good, and I do like the M140, but this car offers so much more in terms of everyday life and power, which I think is what appeals to so many people.
At the end of some grueling challenges set by two of the most car-centric people, well, one of the most car-centric people, I'm not too car-centric.
He's learning.
I'm learning, Jamal's teaching me a few things, and we've come to the conclusion that both cars are just as good as each other.
They
Jamal.
are, in their own ways as well. You've got the Golf Classic, it'll appeal to certain people, and then the M140, there's a certain group of diehards that won't drive any other car.
So I think we're going to have to put this up to you. Whoever's watching this video, tell us, which one do you prefer, the M140 or the Golf?
The M140.
But I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. Me and Jamal have come out in some pretty brisk weather to come and test out these two brilliant cars that we have on offer here at Enkae. We can't come to a conclusion, we need you to solve it, but we hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed this type of content, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, let us know in the comments below. If you are interested in any of these cars or any car that we offer here at Enkae, why not give our sales team, including the Jamal, a call, and they'll be sure to give you the best deal possible, won't you, Jamal?
Yep, certainly will do, so we'll see you over at Enkae.